And then pretty quick response at Gambit as they're going to go Undying. Don't see a lot of Undying right now in this event at least, but it's picked up here as far as Gambit is concerned, and that probably means a core Dazzle.
Well, I think actually what they might be doing here is because we've already talked about how Visage is such a weak lane support that you could just pair the Undying with it, and that's kind of like, you pick a Drow, you pick a Luna, you want to put an Undying in that lane. I think that it's entirely possible, like you said, that there could be potentially a mid-dazzle, or in all likelihood, they're thinking about how they want to like last pick counter the Medusa if it does end up going mid, because they do have last pick in this game, and 10th pick is very, very strong. So they're kind of just setting themselves up for flexibility, I feel.
Yeah. I think, yeah, even the off-lane Dazzle, of course, is fine, too, and then still just set up for your mid-hero with the last pick. But exactly, just kind of with the final pick overall, you can pick what you feel is best, knowing what you're going up against as a full. You like the Undying pick, BSJ?
Yeah, I think it synergizes with their game plan. Everything Draskyl already said, but also the fact that they just want a 5-man. They just want to barrel down lanes. They just it helps their laning stage, so they get there sooner, and then it also, the Tombstone is quite powerful thus far. It's just a matter of what Forward Gaming wants to pick to possibly bring down the Tombstone, but most of the carries like PL and stuff that bring down the Tombstone, you don't really want to pick with Medusa. I'm thinking something like Troll again, just something mid-game heavy. I would like to see maybe even like a Morphling from Forward Gaming. That just might be a little too greedy. Oh, Morphling's first round. Yeah, I didn't even look for that like in the first round ban. Just some attack speed hero that kills this tomb, because I kind of feel like that's going to be the job of this hero that's coming out. But they might just, not listen to me at all on that one.
You might not be right, which is fine.
Which I might just be wrong with everything I say.
It's okay.
PA though. I feel like both PA and Medusa don't like to fight in the early to mid game. Like, they both require time and passivity. Like, they want the enemy team to not be walking down lanes. They both kind of suffer from similar weaknesses. And I don't feel like they necessarily have enough to protect this Dusa. Like, usually you can say, well, maybe just Dusa defends the towers while PA farms and Medusa will get the tower farm. But I feel like Gambit will just kill the Medusa with the backup she has at this current moment. So I think Forward either needs to give this Medusa some defensive support, or they're going to be in some trouble. I guess Lich would have done a good job.
My take on the PA is that even though the hero isn't necessarily like the fastest, you still have one more pick. And in my opinion, Phantom Assassin is probably one of the more stable heroes against Visage, because Visage is never going to be able to get True Strike via birds unless you get like Bloodthorn or something, right? So you're looking at a hero where the evasion is going to be like full effect the entire game, and that's one of the biggest drawbacks of PA. The later you go, more MKBs, hero kind of becomes a little bit squishy. So I think it could just be something that they're going to try to maybe play fast tempo with, go for like SNY or maybe like early Vlads, whatever, and just kind of run around and create some havoc. I could see it working, but at the same time, again, Gambit do have 10th pick, and 10th pick really scares me when it feels like your lineup isn't really coming together.
They banned the Huskar, and yeah, it feels like that would have probably been a pretty good final pick for sure. And obviously, Rezo hasn't been, unfortunately, having the great success on it for Forward Gaming side, but I'm sure Gambit wouldn't mind having it themselves. So I'll take that away. We're figuring this is going to be a support option, right? And that's why they even banned the Lich. As you mentioned, of course, great combo with Grimstalk, good synergy with Phantom Assassin. Is there another one of those on the board that comes to mind?
Maybe like it's a support. I was gonna say Sand King's not farming, maybe like a DS or something, but it's the Phoenix. Okay.
All right.
I mean, there's not really that good of egg hitters on the side of Gambit right now. Like, you don't have anyone really that wants to buy BKB necessarily. And now the last pick from Gambit is most likely going to be mid, and it's most likely going to have to be a hero that can also hit egg. I still think Troll is a good option, like BSJ alluded to earlier.
Or more mixed damage with like a Lina.
Yeah, Lina could work, but it's kind of scary because you can get jumped on by the PA and the Sand King. There is a save on your team, but you're relying pretty heavily on your team. They just don't care. They're shadow fiending again. They have a lot of faith in this hero, and they just won with it, and they won earlier, I believe, as well with the same type of lineup. So, don't fix what ain't broke.
After that last game, I'm a lot more confident, I gotta say, because the fact that they were able to take it into the later game and it still do very well, I think is the biggest thing that sold me personally. So, I'm fine. I'm fine seeing the Shadow Shaman, or Shadow Fiend, excuse me. Shadow Shaman would have been really interesting. as that final pick, but absorbing that a little bit more. So Draskyl, it sounds like could you see Gambit pulling up the upset here, taking it 2-1?
I mean, I'm not gonna doubt their Shadow Fiend. I did it twice today, and I was wrong both times. Well, actually, the other time I assumed they were gonna win, but I was thinking in the back of my mind that might lose to Huskar. The Medusa matchup is interesting. I think it's quite hard for the SF early, but again, he can recover. He gets his Greaves. He can hit the egg because he can dispel the Fire Spirit's debuff if he goes the Greaves build. So it does kind of solve that issue too. I'll go Gambit. I think they got this.
That would be something. If they're able to pull through here. BSJ, what about you in that Shadow Fiend pickup? You sold on it now, especially after the last game. Think it's going to do well?
I just personally feel like it's really hard for forward to get past this like mid to early game where they're like going to lack damage. Their only damage is really Sand King and Phoenix, which is like limited in the early levels, and PA Medusa take a while to actually do damage. So I just feel like playing PA in these games is really hard, and I want to be wrong, but I think Gambit is going to win this game.
So those odds on your screen right there, es.bet. You can head on over. It's still favoring forward, but ever so slightly. That's probably one of the closest we've had, especially now going into Game 3, of course, and understandable. Again, I could see this going either way at this point, but es.bet, place those bets in, and also take advantage of the insurance taking place here for the WePlay Winter Madness. Head on over. All right, during the game, though, we're getting into the game now, as we got Game 3, and this to decide it, who will move on and play Ninjas in Pajamas in the semifinals, and who will be knocked out here in the 5th through 8th place spot. Well, the tipping's coming out initially. It's going to be Universe heading towards the bottom lane on the Sand King. Going to be in that safe lane, so running the aggressive. Also, I guess you can kind of look at it, too, having both Ramses and Resolution. I mean, they're both getting to play a hero that they're kind of used to a little bit more as far as being that farm focus, a core here. So in that aspect, maybe it's good, but there's only so much farm to go around at the same time. So
yeah, I'm curious to see. I feel like Medusa is much more of a resolution type hero than Huskar is.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of more of a pace setter, it's just like an efficient, farm the right parts of the map kind of hero, and eventually get 6 slotted. I think Resolution is one of the best in the world at playing that role in the game. So we'll see how it pans out. In no way do I think like forward gaming is heavily do I believe Gambit's heavily favored here, but I do just feel like PA Medusa is similar to the Lifestealer Medusa and the other stuff we saw yesterday, that just 2 slow heroes that don't want to fight, and this patch just seems so fast. The Core Dazzle, the Core Shadow Fiend, Core Visage. This game, since it's a Visage lineup, it's going to take maybe 10 to 12 minutes before they really ramp up the pace, but I'm just scared for forward in that period of time, because Medusa and PA will not be fight ready at that moment when they have that timing. But they are trying to slow down this Visage, so this aggro tri-lane may have a significant impact on how late that timing actually arrives, and in that case would be a big deal for forward.
SVG, he's already setting up here at the top. Going to be partnered up with, well, it is that trial lane, so yeah, with the Phoenix as well as the Phantom Assassin. Setting up 3 versus 2. FNG, though, you're not dying. Of course, he doesn't mind going up against multiple heroes. In fact, he likes it with the Decay, so obviously they're doing a good job of spreading out initially, but he's able to hit multiple targets with that Decay. It's a difficult target to kill himself. Can harass quite a bit. For now, he's going to use him on Phantom Assassin, who's at the lane, trying to farm. The Visage putting in damage. There's a bottom lane. You see Earth Spirit getting a pull off to start. Nothing's going to stop him there. It's just the Sand King. Not much you can do about it. So they're going in. Doxock, he's a little too far away, though. So you saw that Ink Swell applied, and he doesn't have Phantom Strike yet, though. So without that, they're probably not going to get a good chance to jump.
Trying to get that pull off on the Phoenix. If he gets it, looks like he got part of the creep wave. Pretty important in these tri-lane scenarios that you get a couple pulls off to equalize the XP game. But it looks like the dual lane's already level 2 and the tri-lane's only level 1. So going really well for Team Spirit thus far. Might get the kill here.
Yeah, there
that's first blood. I don't know if I'm ahead of you right now.
Slightly ahead, maybe like a second or 2 at the most. But.
Okay, quick pause here. But either way, yeah, the fact that you have level 2 on the dual lane before the tri-lane had level 2 is super important. They utilize that timing really well. You can get the kill on the Grimstroke. And that's pretty scary when you're a tri-lane versus dual lane and you're giving a kill. Visage also gets the last hit on that big creep.
Yeah, saw that one. I think we're lined up. Soul Assumption, you also kind of see, again, it's not even at level 1. It could do so much damage with those charges added up. And going to get a couple more right here as they dive in with that Ink Swell, but obviously not the easiest target to kill in Earth Spirit. Even TP's in, so once again going to turn it into that try versus try lane. And Gambit has an opening to go in, and we already saw the damage again of Visage that he could put out. In fact, they are going to jump Ramses right here. Grave Chill, he Phoenix Strikes, or not Phoenix Strikes, jumps to his teammate. SVG, dear God, that decay rips away plenty of his life. So Ramsey's going to apply damage to FNG now, but obviously he's got decay stacks added up, so he's feeling fine. In fact, stun hits, and down goes Ramses. What? Okay. He had 12 stacks of decay on him, so yeah, I don't think he realized that.
Yeah, Undying has 24 stacks, so he hits for 87 damage. Not only does it take health, but it gives the Undying damage, so he hits like a truck. Ramsey's TP's bottom, actually, realizing that lane's just not going to work out for him. But now you're TPing into a level 4 Dazzle, so the supports are going to have to follow you. This is just an awkward moment when you try lane unsuccessfully. I think it's still the correct option, or I guess only a level 3 Dazzle, but now a level 4. It's definitely still the better option for Ramses. At the bottom lane, they have pull opportunities to make it so he can farm under tower. And FMG does the casual feed under tower. Must have been a misclick. No, I'm kidding. It's something we see every day, but somehow people still lull about it. It's just quicker way back to base. Now the neutrals take 26 seconds to respawn if you kill yourself to a neutral.
Yeah, that's another one of those we're kind of talking about the whole creepy manipulation last game. You kind of wonder if that's going to be addressed too, because the idea of just suiciding yourself into a tower being the efficient play seems a little off, but
yeah, it does seem a little wonky for sure.
That's what he does there.
Nice rotation.
Earth Spirit's good at that. It's not going to be enough damage though. No poison on him. He'll live, but trying to at least go for it, and Afterlife continues to farm at that bottom lane. FNG at the top. He's going to get cut off. Medusa. Not often you see a roaming Medusa. I guess a haste rune helps.
Medusa haste rune gank, yeah. Pretty much what stops Medusa ever from ganking is, or like even going anywhere, is the fact that she's super slow. So the haste rune definitely makes up for that. Obviously, she has no like stuns or anything, but if she can get there real quick and get there and get back to mid lane before losing any creeps, that's super efficient.
Yeah.
SF winning mid again, though.
I just noticed that. 24-10 in that mid. So Medusa keeping it close somewhat, but yeah, the 10 denies especially, so maxing out the souls and obviously going to continue momentum off of it as well. As 5-minute bounty runes coming up. Earth Spirit, he's already going to take the bottom one as F9 wants to calm it down a little bit, throws at the pause. I honestly always kind of wonder if, like, this early on maybe not so much, but when a pause comes out and no one actually says anything, it's just strat pauses happen? Have you found yourself doing those in games before, as these tournament matches where you kind of pause the game just to simply, get composure?
I'd say very rarely, but I'd say on teams I've been on like maybe once or twice that it's been like there's a lot of chaos going on in chat, or like feels like the team's not focused, or something terrible just kept happening, or those are fewer and far between. Usually it's like somebody has something going on behind them, or some random thing in real life that is bothering them and they have to take care of it real quick.
It's usually a good excuse. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, usually it's reasonable. I would say that strat pauses very rarely happen from my experience.
Like the cat's on fire or something,
Yeah, there you go.
Ramses, he's going to survive, but again, plenty of damage. Earth Spirit good at doing that, and Fire Spirit's being annoying, but rolls in, combos. Ramses just feels like he is having a difficult time no matter where he goes. 22-2 CS right now at the bottom.
Most notably, Visage got aggro tri-lane and is third on the CS right now.
Good point. Yeah, Doxak, he's still keeping his distance right here, and obviously with the Sand King being able to stun him, but he's managing decent CS as you pointed out, and I can expect the same build really with him, as well as Shadow Fiend for that matter. There's no reason why they're going to be changing that up. Is similar idea, just group up, get those early items to push objectives.
Grimstroke Tiki bottom, looks like they were ready to go here.
There's that combo. Ink Swell, it's going to connect. Afterlife, he doesn't have Shallow Grave yet, not that surprising this early on, but probably wishes he does now. Either way, he goes down. Yeah, good rotation.
Yeah, good timing, good prediction. He predicted that the Dazzle would be playing up with the Catapult Wave, trying to apply a little bit of pressure on the tower. But meanwhile, the Punish coming out in the mid lane, and Resolution should go down, and he does barely.
Very fire. He also has an infused raindrop, but cooldown already popped.
That mid tower's going to take a lot of damage. The support's already TP'd bottom, and Medusa's dead. Sanking is just going to chill top. So that's a pretty important kill just by the fact that the tower's going to take a pretty decent chunk of damage here. Especially with the Medusa, a hero that is traditionally known for defending her mid tower.
Yeah, F9's having a fantastic game once again on the Shadow Fiend. And setting themselves up to have this early lead. As you take a look at the net worth now, and no surprise there, see Shadow Fiend on top. And woo, those are some even odds if I've ever seen them before. 1.87 for either one. It's no doubt could go either way, so like to see that. You head over to es.bet. You can take advantage of set odds on your screen. Put in your wagers. Again, es.bet, and the insurance also in play here for the WePlay Winter Madness tournament. But Universe doing what he can at the top lane to get some farm and perhaps some Blink Dagger sooner than later, but we'll probably see more of the tankier build early on. Seems like Sand King's like that. The auras. Ramses, is he dead again? Nope. Stick. Or Wand more so will save him, but again, just so
Poison
low.
touch. It hurts.
It does.
They have no shrine, so he has to base.
No.
He has no TP, no shrine. Has no boots either, so he's walking. The walk of shame, 312 move speed.
Ooh.
Put the Wraith Band in your inventory. That's 2 move speed. Sorry.
Not everyone's as experienced.
Man. It's the little things, man. That's like Grant's equivalent of yelling at a guy not getting a deny when there's nobody else there or something for the 7 gold. So it looks like this game, honestly, I'm favoring the pace for Gambit. Visage is off to a good start. They have 3 of the top 4 net worths. And honestly, it's just a game where if Visage is not having a bad start, you're happy. I think that they're going to hit that timing. And the only hope I really thought I had for forward in the mid game was the fact that they were slowing down the Visage. But I'm just scared of this impending time bomb that they're threatening on the side of Gambit. But they do have the Medusa, so as the game goes on, it gets easier for sure.
Yeah.
But with these like Crimson items that are becoming mid game, you can pretty much ignore the Medusa. And PA is off to a really slow start too, as well. Level 4, I believe she was. Yeah, just turned level 5, 9 minutes in.
And she's also in the middle lane where Medusa is, so again, clearly Ramses is just not too happy with how this game's playing out. He's rotating between the lanes constantly. Now he's going to come back to the top lane, so Universe is currently pushing out this wave here. But now PA is going to take over and continue to play that recovery game. But this goes back to the draft. I mean, you picked a PA with a Medusa. It's just a very kind of safe playing, we want to farm, and obviously Gambit's abusing that fact, as they should be, at least early on. So now Ramsey's pushing this top, level 5. He's got Earth Spirit behind him, doesn't know that. Earth Spirit just hiding in the trees. If there's a TP that comes in, they could make a play, but looks like, I guess, the 10-minute bounty runes are coming. And that's where the action will be instead. Noxock with the familiars flying over. To see if he can catch somebody, and that's somebody. I think he's caught the PA. There you go. PA's dead.
All 4 bounties because he snipes that one at the last moment on the Earth Spirit. They're going to get 2 kills and 4 bounties. Suddenly 2K net worth advantage for Gambit out of nowhere.
Yeah. There's the tomes as well being purchased, so. Ooh, Shadow Fiend, 4,500 net worth. He's got the boots. I'm sure the mech is coming shortly if it's not already on him. I
actually saw a game with Liquid that was versus a Medusa. And you'd be surprised how much damage Visage does to a Medusa, like in the mid to late game.
Yeah.
Just before Medusa has that Scotty level 20 talent, I remember Liquid was losing, and I thought they had no chance. And then the Visage lineup just killed Medusa. And in that game, they had a TA in the mid lane, a similar like minus armor physical damage right clicker. In this game, they have the SF, very similar type dynamics. So I'm just fearful for forward. Like I say it time and time again, I don't think the Medusa has a supporting cast that protects her. They don't have any heavy counter initiation to stop Gambit from being afraid to commit on the Medusa. Yeah, they have the Sand King, but if they have just like a single pipe that's like enough to remove all the damage, and they have these heroes that will build these items. They have the Dazzle, they have the Visage.
FNG, he's baiting this for sure. He's going to turn. The Rip comes out. The Decay has even more support coming in with the heal bomb. Phantom has to realize in the late. Phantom strikes away. Here comes Sand King, though. Ink Swell's applied, stuns in. Is Supernova activated in the backlines? Immersion, he's probably dead. Roll, nope, it's going to be stopped. The Supernova connects, though, and he is caught. Could not shallow grave again. I don't think he still has it yet. Either way, F9's Requiem from a big distance there. I don't really know if that hit anyone. And Phoenix able to walk it off.
For a slow. It's
Okay.
just he used it for the slow. Obviously not the way you ideally want to use it, but either way, good rotation from forward. But that's a lot of heroes just to deter aggression. And it looks like the mid lane's going to be pushed in by the Visage, and bottom lane's still going to be threatened. So if they still want to defend this tower, they'll have to invest more and more resources. And like I said, they got the kill, but they're still losing the tower. And this is what's starting to become scary. Visage has no fear now since all the abilities are used, but he's being a little too ballsy, I would say, with that epicenter still being online. And okay, strongman syndrome, it happens.
Applied that medallion as well, which he has, and you saw just how not tanky all of a sudden he became. So, yeah, I like that strongman syndrome right there from Visage. He's dead for 15 more seconds. Familiars. He does have the cooldown already, so I don't know if he has some playing around still. Okay, I guess he did.
Had like 5 health. Gets the little last hit there.
There you go. So, life after death.
Yeah, that familiar stun does like 40 damage or something. So, but they're already starting the walk down lanes train.
Let's go.
Shadow Fiend has the mech working towards the Greaves, only about 1,000 off.
Ours
All
level
these
4.
heroes perfectly happy to group up. No egg, no epicenter, no Medusa ult. PA is not ready to fight. Grimstroke's only level 5.
So you're telling me there's a reason Gambit's pushing?
A couple, yeah. Just maybe one. No, one or two.
One or two in there. Helm of the Dominator is just about there as well for Visage. He's a ring of health. Again, he's pretty far up here. They might make him pay for this. Spawn is new familiar. Sand King ports in, but looks like Visage realizes he wanted to take those Ancients, at least get some of them, but unable to do so. They protect it. Resolution's going to farm them up instead. That's what they needed. So that would have been pretty brutal if Forward Gaming lost these. Phantom Assassin still trying to find wherever she can. Farming in the mid lane right now, but as the game goes on too, and more push happens from Gambit, obviously that's going to get shorter, smaller and smaller, that is, as far as how much room you do have to farm. Bottom, though, Supernova in. Silence applied to Dazzle. He just keeps running, though. Will be slowed over the Stork of Fate, but now he has that supporting cast. So the Phoenix Wave goes up, but over to the side of FNG. He rips as well as decays. Ramsey's caught. Slow apply. Magnetize on top of that. Stone Gaze is going to be used for Resolution. Trying to scare them off. Actually stows up a couple. Merchant gets killed because of it. FNG also too far in. Soul Assumption. Nuke Resolution. He has no mana, by the way, on him. It has been burned through, so he's at half-life right now. Great Pearl Strike's done, though. The Epicenter going to be turned up. Never mind, Universe. Okay, does actually go off right there on top of F9s, but he is too tanky with that Meg. Pops a Requiem, going for the turn kill on Universe. Not enough damage, and he misses the raise, and he's hiding in that Sandstorm, so Universe going to survive for the time being, as he's still trying to be found by Dazzle, but let's go a little bit south, please. Somebody's dying over there. That's going to be Phantom Assassin, who ends up getting run down. So Universe, hell of an escape, but big picture, I think Gambit's still pretty pleased.
That seemed like worst case scenario for Gambit, and it still went pretty well. So I think that's pretty indicative of how the next 10 to 15 minutes are going to look. This is the storm phase of the game for Forward Gaming. They have to weather it if they want to make it past this best of 3, because this has been one chaotic best of 3. And is that going to be another 4 runes? No, Phoenix manages to dive past, but
they
suddenly
lose.
Sentry's down bottom lane, just a free kill on Universe. That's 350 gold for a Dazzle, and that's also like momentum in the bottom half of the map. That means that lane's going to get pushed now, and
yeah, that's
dead for 20.
That's another addition to this lineup, by the way. Is then God, Ramses is. This is a brutal game for him now. If it wasn't already, that's another death. But obviously, Beastmaster in his own right, very good with the synergy with this lineup. But Dazzle definitely has its own benefits too, from the heal bombs to getting that early Necronomicon and being able to push with it, with the cooldown reduction. Minus armor is huge as well, of course. They're going to kill Roshan. That's a free Roshan. That's an HS now for the Shadow Fiend probably.
Yeah, you have limited damage output, as I mentioned in the draft, and you're dealing with a Shadow Fiend who's building team items, a Visage who's building team items. Undying Soul Rip, you're dealing with Dazzle Heal. I mean, it's just so much damage they have to do, and they don't have it, I don't think, on the side of Forward. Like, their mid game is just so weak. People think of Sand King as like a damage dealer, but his damage is very flat, and it's on a long cooldown. And then you have these 2 cores that just do not deal damage at this stage in the game.
I wonder. I was wondering what going into this game what Ramses was going to look to build. I assumed it was not going to be the Battle Fury route, being that you have a Medusa. I assume that's still the case, and maybe instead like the Deso first item, or
maybe Vlad's Deso, something like that.
Okay.
Vlad's BKB might have to be the way he goes. It's not a game where you exactly want to build BKB, but even SF alone is enough to threaten you to build a BKB.
God. What a roll.
Nice kick.
Roll into the kick. That's 45 seconds Medusa's out for. I mean, that was a blind roll, too. They had the vision going for the Gambit side, and he just went in blind. He went into the dark. Obviously, he knew he went down there initially, but he hit the angle still. Makes it look easy.
And with no Medusa, their counter push is mediocre, and Sand King doesn't really represent a threat to them without the blink, and he doesn't have it yet. He's still only 1,900 gold, and that means they're not going to choose to go high ground. They think that's a little too much, but they're going to take all the outer tier 2s that all with the lanes pushed. Make their way possibly to high ground now. I wonder if they'll force the issue, force the Sand King to come back. I don't necessarily think they have to force the racks here, but make sure all of Forward Gaming's in their base. The PA doesn't want to be here. He's already TP'd though. Sand King doesn't want to be here yet.
Now,
I'm sure they're aware this blink's almost up.
I was going to say, if Shadow Fiend could be level 15, that would be huge, because remember, that's where he gets that talent of affecting buildings. He's only 14, though. Ramses, he's going to live Sunray. MSS doing everything he can. He will keep him alive barely.
And they're all in base, so they can chill. I think they can just back off and push in the other lanes, take control of the map, get the tier 2 bottom. Forward knows that they're just going to back off and separate, so they're looking to catch some stragglers. They see the courier, so they know where they're going.
Yeah.
I like how they should do this little vision thing, showing us what only Forward Gaming sees here.
Yeah, it's kind of clever, actually, to get an idea of seeing what they can see, of course. But as we see, it's probably not going to... Oh, maybe. They're coming in near the Roshan pit. They see the familiars. They see several heroes. Resolution just runs in. I don't know. He has a Stone Gate, still kicking it off just yet. Stun in from Universe with the Epicenter, doing plenty of damage. The Soulbind comes out as well. FNG dying as well as Doxock. FNG goes down, but Doxock hits the bigger target. Supernova goes off, and Visage will fall. So Magnetize ticking a little bit, but not nearly enough pressure. Shadow Fiend, he's still good to go, though. He's got a Requiem. He's going to be trying to position it correctly here. Ramses gets nuked down. The Raze is coming out. He's able to Phantom Strike forward, but no, he goes down. Requiem canceled by Universe. Now he's going to hide in that Sandstorm. Can't do much hiding, though, when you're dusted up. So as pretty as that start was for Forward, killing Doxock was big, but clearly they did not get enough.
I will say time and time again, they have no backup for Medusa. They just focus the Medusa. And despite losing 1 or 2 heroes, like, Medusa just dies. Lost all of his mana. Couldn't ulti, couldn't manta, couldn't do anything. Just gets stunned and dies. And that's the factor that there's no threat to going on Medusa.
The Familiars are going to help to kill Phoenix. At least they're going to try. Meanwhile, they were just pushing into the base. They had the mid-creep wave pushed. So they force a buyback out of Sand King, at least. And they will get back here. Phoenix is still being run down, by the way. Doxock himself is coming in as well. The Familiar is killing Phoenix, I see up there at the top, and he is going to die in the end. Eventually
We
gets
have the
run
level
down.
15 on Shadow Fiend, so these buildings will begin to melt.
Yeah, I'm guessing he got the same talent, of course, with the theme and everything.
I'd be shocked if he did anything different,
Yeah.
based on their lineup they've chosen. Up by 10,000 gold, 20 minutes in. Bounty runes are spawning. And that looks like it's probably going to trade 2 for 2, actually, if Forward feels confident to grab the one on their side of the map down below.
There's the Manta, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it, as Draskyl said earlier. This is exactly what Gambit's going for, and, you know, going into just today, it's crazy how one game especially can kind of change your mind and how you're thinking of how things work, because this was the first game of the series. We hadn't seen this yet, you know. Still don't know how I'd be feeling about it, but knowing especially how Game 2 went, Gambit, this is just a very decisive lead, and it is so difficult to see a situation where Forward Gaming is going to be able to hold and prevent them from doing so much damage here.
Who needs catch when you can just force them to sit in their base?
Yeah.
They have no stuns, but like Forward Gaming can't ignore the push, so this is their way of corralling the opponent, is just by consistently threatening high ground. Every time they see somebody on Forward leave the base, they just say, hey, come back, we're going to push it. And then when they push them back, Shadow Fiend pushes bottom, and the whole cycle resets. And this cycle definitely favors Gambit. They're obviously on the timing to some extent, but this PA is not a hero in this game right now, and probably won't be a hero for a while. And he's threatened. The Spirit Vessel is significant to stop the Sunray heal, but the counter initiation from the Sand King, and Who's actually catching who here? I can't tell.
Well, the epicenter was even used for that, so I definitely think it's safe to say Gambit. In fact, Universe, that's a dieback, remember, too, so very not worth it.
My God.
And that was all to save the Phantom Assassin in the first place. It just goes back to that. They really cannot even step out of their base without feeling threatened to be jumped. Exactly the situation right there. Sand King's out for 50, so the Presence Sword Aura, it's doing work. Amping that damage on the towers, the racks now. Easy racks, Resolution doing what he can.
Ignore. It doesn't matter. That's the other approach to Medusa. Is the mid-game damage is lacking. Just ignore.
They're going to make their way to the top lane. Got the mid push. Go up here. The rack's already exposed, of course. Sunray's going to be used to push back what he can, but cancel quickly. And into the melee racks now. So as long as Shadow Fiend's close by, it's kind of doing work anyways. There's a push forward on Resolution. And they are going to kill him? Nope. Yeah, they do. He buys back immediately. It's almost like he was saved for a second, but he just buys back. Phoenix, the egg's not going to work. Ramses jumps in, hopes for the best. Resolution comes back in as well. The Requiem right on top, and then the Stone Case pops on FNG, but that's a dieback, and that's probably it. That GGs are called. Gambit. They're going to take out Forward Gaming 2-1, and love the draft. Visage is apparently a hero. If you're comfortable on, you can play well, and really, though, credit to them on teamwork especially. They played as a team very well. Deserve props there.
Absolutely, very impressed by Gambit's overall game plan in this series. I do feel like they are a bit of a one-trick pony, like that teams may be able to figure out, but it may take them till after this tournament to figure it out, and they seem very powerful at what they're doing. Overall, though, I feel it's such a funny game to watch Dota because I, as a player, when I'm watching these games, it seems so obvious to me, but when I'm playing myself, there's just so many random things you forget about. When you just don't play against a hero for a long time. And Visage is one of those heroes that you just don't play against very much recently, even though he was very popular about a year ago. And he just threatens to barrel down lanes and kill all your buildings at 20 minutes. And it feels like Forward saw this pick and didn't address it. They didn't seem to care. Like when they picked Sand King, PA, Phoenix, last 3 picks. And I feel like when you have these drafts, you have to address the problems the enemy team presents you with, and you kind of know what to expect too, right? It's not like Gambit has been secretive about the way they plan to win the game. So very well played by Gambit. Look forward to seeing a little bit more of their push strats as the tournament goes on. And, they clearly are playing with a stand-in, but either way, Forward wasn't exactly impressive today.
Well, Gambit moving on into the semifinals, where once again they're going to be matched up against Ninjas in Pajamas. Of course, we saw them defeat Elements Pro Gaming earlier today, 2-1 themselves. So the quarterfinals already off to a fantastic start, both going 3 games, and we have one of our semifinals set up, NIP versus Gambit. Our next one, we're going to find out how it sets up tomorrow as we kick it off with OG versus Vega Squadron. Now, quick note on OG, as we've been casting throughout today, apparently news came out earlier today that PyCat is officially no longer part of the team, and so
I will be replacing him.
BSJ officially announcing let's not do that here.
Sorry, I'm kidding.
No, but so on that note, though, of course, it's going to be very interesting to see who he gets replaced with, and I assume tomorrow it's going to be more of a standing situation, if anything, and we'll go from there. Nothing permanent yet, but that's the plan. OG versus Vega, and then Alliance versus No Pango, as well as our final quarterfinal matchup. That'll also be taking place. In fact, I suppose, there you go. I can show it on screen for you guys. Thanks to Liquipedia, of course. What they do here. And then the final series of tomorrow will be our first semifinals. We will get to cast NIP versus Gambit to finish it all off. So, again, great matches set up here for the WePlay Winter Masters Tournament. It's been a fun tournament so far. Expect that to continue over the next couple of days. I'm competing for that $100,000 prize pool that's on the line. But BSJ, we made it to the end today. We're going to be wrapping up. So, any shout outs, any last words from yourself before we do?
No, I've been good last games. This last series was just very exciting. It felt like the first 2 games the team I didn't think would win or won. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
To be surprised by Dota whenever you can be.
Yeah, no, innovative strategies for sure, and well played, and deserving teams winning it in the end. So we're really excited now for tomorrow, but obviously we'll have a bit of a break here. But again, we will be seeing you tomorrow morning and kicking it off with, I actually think Alliance versus No Pango is the
Absolutely good series.
first series that we kick it off with. Yeah, that as well. Absolutely, I agree there. One of the better group stage teams, no doubt, coming out against Alliance, who's obviously on a bit of a hot streak themselves recently, and consider one of the better European teams right now. So looking forward to that one. We kick it off with that. OG versus Vega to follow, and then NIP versus Gambit. Thanks to Draskyl and Gods for joining us earlier as well. They'll be back tomorrow. As far as us, we're wrapping things up. Thank you as always. Have a good night, guys. Again, I was BreakyCPK, joined by BSJ here. The WePlay Winter Madness, day number 2 of the playoffs, wrapping up. We'll see you tomorrow for our first semifinals, eventually followed by the 2 quarterfinals. They have to finish things off with first. So see you then. Have a good night. Until next time.
See you later, everybody.